So just yesterday, we got news that Keenan Lonsdale, David Paul Ramsey, and Sindhil Ramamurthy were going to be reprising their roles as John Diggle, Kid Flash, and Bloodwork. And now, today, we got news and confirmation that Stephen Amell is going to be coming back as Arrow. And we gotta talk about this. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I wanted to do kind of a discussion video where, I just wanted to talk with you guys and share my excitement over what has been the biggest news I have heard all year. Now, granted, it's only the 4th at the time of recording this video, but this is probably some of the biggest news I've seen in the last, 3 months, I would say. As a fan of The Flash, obviously, if you guys have been following me on my other social medias, or you've been following me on TikTok, you know that I have been highly invested in news coming out and releasing about the final season of The Flash. And we haven't gotten much since season 8 ended. However, the last month or so, we've gotten a lot of information, from announcements to of surprise cameos to more information about the episode titles to posters and so much more. And they have not let up since then. It seems like they are really pushing for marketing for this final season to get people excited and probably more importantly to get people invested. So I want to take a moment to talk about that in this kind of discussion video. Nothing fancy, just really talking to you guys about something that I'm personally excited about. We're going to read an article by Deadline, and a lot of news outlets have put out these articles really talking about the same thing, about the Stephen Amell confirmation that he will be returning, and really just my general thoughts about all of this and how all of this is really leading to what I believe to be the biggest and strongest season of The Flash in a long time. So we're going to get into this. So starting things out, my initial thoughts. My initial thoughts yesterday were pretty high. I knew that Kid Flash needed to be in this season, but I wasn't sure if Keenan Lonsdale was going to be up for it, if he had other things that he was going to be doing that maybe would prevent him from being in this final season. But turns out we got confirmation. Keenan Lonsdale, Kid Flash, is going to be returning for the final season, at least for an episode. We also got confirmation that Bloodwork was going to be coming in. Now, Bloodwork was previously a villain on The Flash. Not a very well fleshed out villain, but he was a villain. He was there for about half a season, and then we really never heard or saw from him again. But it looks like they're going to be having that character, who's played by Sindhil Ramamurthy, return for the final season. Also in episode 9. All of these characters that have been confirmed are returning in episode 9. I think it's really exciting that they're going to have this character come in as well. I'm assuming he's going to be transformed into like a hero. Maybe they'll do some sort of, going into the past, or it would appear that the way that they're setting things up, it would appear that episode 9 is going to be a big brawl between a lot of the rogue villains that they're having come in and a lot of the heroes that we've come to love throughout the Arrowverse. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Supergirl, although that has not been confirmed. So we're just going to focus on the characters that have been. I can see that's why they're having Diggle show up. That's obviously why they're having Stephen Amell's Oliver Queen, the Green Arrow, return as well. And that's why they're having Kid Flash. And I'm assuming these are only a few of the characters that we will likely see make a return, but they're some of the biggest names that you could have. And I mean, just knowing that, it has me excited. So like I said, yesterday we got news that these 3 characters, Diggle, Bloodwork, and Kid Flash, are going to be returning. And then today, news started breaking and setting the internet on fire that Stephen Amell was going to be coming back. And this not only got fans who have been invested in the show of The Flash excited, but it got fans who were big fans of Arrow excited. So those fans will be watching this season, likely at least episode 9. And it got fans, like I said, who have just been invested. Fans who maybe stepped away as well will likely make a return for this final season, if anything, just to see some of these key characters that they loved in early seasons of The Flash or in Arrow make a return in one big episode. It's almost like they're doing a crossover event, which I think I'm really excited about. And so, yeah, my initial excitement about all of this is very high. I'm very much looking forward to seeing all of these characters that I've come to watch throughout the Arrowverse make a return. Obviously, so far, we really just have confirmation about Arrow characters and Flash characters, of course. I don't see them bringing in anyone else, characters from Legend, possibly, characters from maybe even Supergirl. I don't really see that happening either. I don't think that's necessary. You know what I'm saying? I think the characters that they have mentioned, I think, are key characters to the Flash's journey, and that's really what the focus the focus is not to make this another hoorah, crossover, right? It's really, to bring in characters that have been pinnacle to Barry's growth, either from the Flash itself or from Arrow. I would say those are the two kind of pillars that started this whole Arrowverse thing. So I can see why they're bringing in those characters. But yeah, that has me really excited. I'm hyped. So let's jump into this article. I'm going to read this article for you guys, and I'll have it posted up on the screen from Deadline, that talks about really just confirming some of the key aspects about Stephen Amell's return as the character of Green Arrow, and potentially what this means, and the synopsis for the season as we know it. So Deadline goes to say that the Flash, Stephen Amell, returns to reprise Oliver Queen role in 9th and final season, and then continues on by saying Oliver Queen will team up with Barry Allen one last time in the 9th and final season of The Flash. The CW announced today that Stephen Amell, who starred as the title character in Arrow and also appeared in the spin-off The Flash, will return to guest star in episode 909, joining previously announced David Ramsey, Keenan Lonsdale, and Sindhil Ramamoorthy. Grant Gustin's Barry Allen was originally introduced to on Arrow, the series that launched the CW's Arrowverse, before headlining his own series, The Flash. So off the jump, I just want to mention that this is really exciting stuff, man, because Oliver Queen, Stephen Amell, he was such a critical part to the Arrowverse. And I previously said this before. If you guys have followed me on TikToks, I've been posting crazy amounts of TikToks about my theories for this season and what they needed to do in order for this season, this final showdown, this last run, what they needed to do for it to be successful. And one of those key components, key pillars of this season was Stephen Amell. He needed to be in this. Why? Because he's the one that started this Arrowverse, and he's mentioned a number of times over the last couple years since Arrow ended that he would return if offered to maybe do one last final season, kind of a farewell season for Arrow, or maybe have Arrow potentially be somewhere else, or if he was offered a chance to cameo, he would do that as well. And it looks like that opportunity is arising, and I'm just glad that he took them up on it as an opportunity to put the suit on, even if for one episode, and what that potentially could mean for how special this final season is going to be. Now, it was already going to be special given the fact that it's the final season, but now knowing that certain key characters are going to be coming in and really helping Barry out in a time of major need, it sends emotional tears in my eyes. I don't even know what to think, and I think it's going to be an emotional journey for a lot of people to witness this. So I'm excited. I really am. Showrunner Eric Wallace had some things to say about these confirmations and potentially what they mean for the final season of The Flash. And he goes on to say that as soon as our final season was announced, we knew we wanted Stephen to come back and reprise his iconic role as Oliver Queen, said executive producer Eric Wallace. After all, it was Oliver who originally launched Barry Allen, played by Grant Gustin, on his heroic path. That's why everyone on Team Flash felt so strongly that it was important to create a full circle moment with Oliver's return in the final season of The Flash. And this is exactly what I've been saying since the beginning. It's not something that they needed to do, but in order for them to really hone in on the emotional aspect of this being the final journey, the final run, there were certain key characters that needed to make an appearance in order to really generate an emotional response from the audience. And I think Oliver Queen, Stephen Amell, is an opportunity that would have been so poorly missed if they didn't take advantage of this. And I'm so glad that they are, because this is going to be really, it's a beautiful full circle moment that we're now going to get to experience. The article continues on by saying the result is an epic yet emotional episode we hope Arrowverse fans will enjoy. It's all to say thank you to everyone for watching and supporting our show throughout 9 wonderful years. We absolutely cannot wait for everyone to see Grant and Stephen saving the world together again. And yes, there will be thrills, chills, and tears. Amell has appeared in 8 episodes of The Flash as Oliver Queen. And so, yeah, this is a big thing. This is a big deal. It's something I'm very excited about. I really don't know what else to say other than that fact that I cannot wait to see Stephen Amell return as Oliver Queen. And I know that based on what, has been said here in this article and based on what I've been reading, it would appear that, Stephen Amell's Oliver Queen is going to be only in here for 1 episode. It's kind of one big mashup, to fight the forces of evil, as directed by Danielle Panabaker. And yeah, that potentially will be it. But all I can say is that it's really exciting. Now, there's a couple things that I will say about this that, just me being a little critical, is one of the things that I wish that they had done was kept this a secret. I wish this was something that we didn't know about. I'm glad that they mentioned Oliver Queen and that the fact that he is returning, I think that's really cool. I wish that was kind of a secret, because it would have left people a lot more engaged, I think. And now not only do we know that he's returning, but they've given the episode that he returns in. And so I'm worried that people won't fully invest in the season and they'll just kind of tune in for this one episode. I really hope that that's not the case, and that a lot of people do give the whole season a chance, because it's going to make that episode 9 a lot more special, in my opinion. But yeah, it does take a little bit of the hype out of it. Now, one of the reasons I feel like they did mention this and they did say like he is going to be returning is probably to build hype for the season, to get people who maybe weren't invested before. Oh, they're definitely going to be invested now, at least for that 9th episode. If anything, if that's the only episode that they tune into is episode 9, then, you know, at least it allows for the showrunner Eric Wallace and, you know, all the writers to say thank you to everybody who tuned in for the Flash by allowing this character, Oliver Queen, to return and have this beautiful moment for fans of Arrow, fans of the Flash, fans of both to enjoy together. So I hope that people do give it a chance. And if you're watching this video, I highly urge you to give this episode a chance, or this season, because I think there's a lot of other special things that they have yet to mention that I feel will be a part of this season. I think Stephen Amell is only one core component to a lot of, I think, potential cameos and potential surprises that await us in this 13 episode final season. But that's all for me, guys. That's all I'm going to say about this. I'm very excited about this. I just wanted to share my kind of longer thoughts on that, because, you know, when you only have like a minute or so to do a video, you know, for TikTok or whatever, it does make it a little difficult to get my full thoughts and excitement out. So I like to do videos like this when big news drops, just to share my kind of full thoughts with you. So hopefully you enjoyed kind of this discussion style video. If you did, dropping a like on this video greatly helps out the channel. Lets me know if you guys want me to do more of these. I'm more than happy to do that. But let me know down in the comment section below, what do you think about Stephen Amell returning as the Flash, or returning in the Flash? And if there's other characters that you potentially want to see who have not yet been announced. For me, obviously, I want Cisco to be in the final season. I'd like to think that they're holding this out as a surprise, but I guess we'll see when the final season drops on February 8th. But as for me, that's all that I had to say about this. Be on the lookout for more videos coming each and every week. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, my name is That Guy Rye, and I will see you in the next one.